Hi, welcome to Band Tier. This is the channel where I discuss some of my favorite bands and discuss either their entire discographies or some of my favorite songs from them, so you got a good idea of a starting place. And in this video, we're talking about a band that really hits home personally for me, System of a Down.
They call it a shit. I play Russian roulette every day. I'm mad sport with a bullet all line. Yeah, no call. You know that every time I try to go where I really wanna be, it's already where I am. Tomorrow they die.
System of a Down are always going to be one of my forever favorites for the sentimental value they have to me. This was the band that got me into metal music. It was back, I was probably 12 years old, and I had started listening to rock music. I had listened to bands like 3 Days Grace, and Linkin Park, and Breaking Benjamin were kind of my three introductory bands. And then YouTube kept recommending me the video for Chop Suey. So I'm like, oh, that song's got kind of a funny name, and a lot of people seem to like it. It had a lot of views at the time. Still does. So I'm like, okay, I'll give that a listen. And that song absolutely blew my mind the first time that I heard it. And ever since, I've been a huge fan of metal music. System of a Down were really the band that kicked that off for me. So obviously, I'm really going to love them. And overall, I think System of a Down has got to be one of the most consistent bands ever. I don't think this band has a bad song in their entire discography, which is something that makes this list really, really hard to make, because there's so much great music to choose from, because there's so much great music to choose from is every song they ever made. So these top 10 are the best of the best. So keep that in mind going in. What I love about this band is how unique they are, and they have just so much energy. Their lyrics can be really, really ridiculous sometimes, but it just adds to it, and this is just peak 2000s metal for me. So yeah, I'm a huge System of a Down fan, so let's get into this top 10. For number 10, we're going back to, well, the most recent System of a Down album, which unfortunately came out 16 years ago, which, not the best. Anyway, this song is called Hypnotize. It's the title track to the album, and I love this song. This is not like high-intensity, maximum energy System of a Down that pretty much we all know and love the band for. This is a bit of a slower one. I wouldn't call it a ballad by any means. And what I love about this song is how it builds up. The harmonies between Darren and Serge are really, really good on this one. And I love lyrically how it kind of like speaks to apathy during a time of great political unrest. Like you have it talking about at the beginning about the Tiananmen Square protests. But the main lyric to the song is, I'm just sitting in my car while I'm waiting for my girl. And the narrator of the song is like stating, all this is going on, and man, just I want to live my life. It's a very interesting point of view, and that's something System of a Down always do really well. So big thumbs up from me for Hypnotize.
Is a pastime activity. The toxicity of our city, Zero, wanting on the world, honey on disorder. Now, somewhere between the sacred sound.
I think it'll be pretty obvious by the end of this list that 2001's Toxicity is my favorite System of a Down album. 5 out of the 10 songs on this list come from Toxicity, and the first one to appear is the title track. I really, really love this song. This is like classic System of a Down. It's just like really quiet to really, really soft. It's just all over the place. John's drumming is really, really good on this. And yeah, this is just that classic System of a Down energy. And there's a reason that this is one of their most popular songs.
Their lives are up and wide. The feature gives them signs of a
Going back to 1998 to the self-titled debut, and this is the wildest and most insane album System of a Down has ever done, which is really saying something because this is a band that's put out 5 really wild and insane albums. But my favorite song on here, surprisingly enough, is Spiders, which is this just eerie little ballad. This one lyrically discusses like the government tapping in and spying on us, which is a theme in a lot of System of a Down songs that they bring up. And I just love this one. It has such a haunting atmosphere. Just the way like Serge's vocals are phenomenal here, and it shows dynamic on an album that really like it kind of gives a break. Not hating on System of a Down self-titled, I absolutely love that album. But if that album was like Sugar and Sweet Pea and Suggestions for like the entire album, it would make a bit of a challenging listen. But when you have a song like Spiders, it just allows this album to flow. It feels so natural despite them doing a different sound, and I love it so much. This is one of those songs that lyrically just makes you think, what the hell? But like, it really, really works. This song isn't directly about what the title says it is. This is more of a song about the media and how, you know, the media tries to incite fear and they just show violence and destruction instead of really showing the bright side of things. And this song showcases that really well. There's some really shocking and disturbing lyrics on here, but it fits the message of the song. And I really, really, what I love about this one musically is the switches between the verses and the choruses, how Serge is like very, very aggressive on the verses of the song before going more melodic in the choruses. It feels like the song's going 500 different directions at once, but it's doing that in a very good way. This is, I think, a song that every new System of a Down fan really, really should hear. It's a good introduction to the wilder side of this band, and I think that this one is fantastic. One of my favorites off Mesmerize.
My sweet revenge will be yours for the taking. It's in the making, baby.
Ravanga is easily one of the catchiest songs System of a Down have ever made, both riff, verses, and chorus. That's got to be one of my favorite riffs from this. I'll listen to this song and then I'll just be humming that thing to myself over and over again all day. The verses here, again, it's kind of the same formula that the song I just talked about, Violent Pornography, has, where the verses are very, very intense and the choruses are a lot more melodic and less intense. And the vocals are very dramatic on the choruses here. I love the harmonizing between Darren and Serge. And this is another fantastic song off of Mesmerize, which is pretty much a perfect album from start to finish. Okay, this is a list of the top 10 System of a Down songs. How can I not put Chop Suey on here? Everyone has heard this song a million times. Doesn't matter what genre of music you listen to, you know this one. And there's a reason for that. This is an incredible, just amazing song. Obviously holds a lot of sentimental value to me because this was the first System of a Down song I ever heard. A lot of people, this is the first System of a Down song that they ever heard, and it just absolutely floored me the first time I listened to it. And many years later, it still blows my mind every time I hear it. The lyrics are really, really good here. Musically, this song is fantastic. Starting off with that like acoustic strumming, and then the riff just punches in, and well, it's again those just intense verses. Serge is losing his mind on this song before you go into that amazing harmonized chorus. There's so much emotion behind this one. There's a reason that when people think, rock and metal, no, period. When people think music of the early 2000s period, Chop Suey is pretty much synonymous with that. The music video for this song has over 1 billion views on YouTube, so that shows how much this has resonated with people. I love this song to death. You probably love this song to death. Just like, it's got to make the list. You can't make a list of the best System of a Down songs and not put Chop Suey on. Forest is one of those underrated songs off Toxicity, which with an album so stacked, it's understandable that certain songs aren't going to get as much attention, but this is one of the highlights off that record. For me, what I love about Forest is just mostly the musical side of it. It's not quite as crazy as a lot of the other songs off that album, but it's really, really, Serge shows off his vocals so well here. Huge chorus, and the lyrical content on this one's really good too. Main theme of this song is environmentalism, and it's told from the perspective of like Mother Earth looking down at humanity. Like, why can't you see that you're my child? Is the main kind of hook to the song. And it's just a very, very interesting song. It's a great song, and I love the vocals on here. So yeah, one of the underrated gems off Toxicity for sure.
Drugs to pay for secret wars around the world. Drugs are now your global policy.
This is one of the heaviest System of a Down songs, and this is also one of the most thought-provoking System of a Down songs. I mean, with a name like Prison Song, you know you're in for something like pretty intense. And what this song is about is pretty much mass incarceration and the war on drugs. And this is a protest song against that. I love this song musically. That riff, like that main really, like, I love that riff. And then the way Serge just is screaming on that chorus. This band just completely lets loose on this song and really gets across a very strong message that they genuinely believe in about, hey, the U.S. has a problem with private prisons and overpopulation in prisons, and the song is trying to get that message out to people. So the song's got a good message, sounds really, really good, and is probably one of the most memorable songs System of a Down have ever done. So yeah, Prison Song is definitely going to place very highly on this list, and hence it makes it into the top 3.
We are the ones who wanna play. Always wanna go, but you never wanna stay.
Coming in at number 2, we have my favorite song off of Toxicity, which is Aerials. This is another one of those songs that you probably know this song even if you don't really know System of a Down, because this song gets pretty constant radio play on rock stations still to this day. I love this song. So I love everything about this song. Musically, it's really hypnotic. It's got this really just creepy bass line, and it builds like this somber, depressing atmosphere throughout the song. Lyrically, it's one of my favorite System of a Down songs in that regard, talking about, like shutting and pushing people out of your life. And the vocals, like, I feel like I'm repeating, the vocals are great, the vocals are great, the vocals are great. But Aerials has phenomenal vocals. It's just like Forest really shows off Serge's more calmer, kind of operatic side, and proves that he is one of the greatest metal vocalists ever. So I'm a massive fan of Aerials. There is a reason that this is such a popular song. However, it does not come in at number 1. There is one System of a Down song that's honestly a pretty easy choice for number one for me. But yeah, so let's get into that one now.
Why do they always set apart? Why do they always set apart? Healing process gets up, hearing into Moses' dry mouth, breaking into born of stealing our intention. And the sin drift and oil, crying, freedom!
Coming in at number one, we have BYOB, which stands for Bring Your Own Bomb. This is a very political song, as you could probably tell by the name, and this is, if I had to describe the way System of Down sound in one song, I would play somebody this song. This is that just frantic, like schizophrenic style of song where it's really just trying to do like a ton of different things. You have those just screams, like those absolute, I like don't know how Darren does those screams sometimes of like, why do they always send the poor, is the main line, and then you have that chorus that, you know, you like, you can't not sing along with that. It's so catchy, and the riffs are all over the place too. Like that intro, just it sets up so well. There's so much energy in this song, and then lyrically, this is a really good one too. Obviously, it talks about, you know, how the people who often go to war and start the wars are not the ones being most affected by it. It's the poor populations of countries involved in the war, and this is a song that deals with that topic. It's got a lot of energy. This is one of the System of Down classics. This is a classic of 21st century heavy metal, and a song that everyone needs to listen to. It's by far my favorite song System of Down have ever done. That was a really tough list to make, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. And if you haven't managed to get into System of Down yet, I would highly recommend getting into System of a Down. They're a band that will appeal to a lot of different people. They do a lot of different sounds. They're kind of insane a lot of the time, but that's the joy of them. That's part of the reason I love them so much. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next video when we will rank Slayer's studio albums.